Hey everyone, today I'm here to talk about a shoe that, yes, has been on the market for a while, but there's an important reason that we should be discussing it. So without further ado, Metaspeed Edge Paris. Also worth discussing the Metaspeed Sky Paris. Why? Well, new ones are coming out soon, end of July, mid-July, somewhere in that range. And I'm super stoked for one about the new version. However, it might be possible to pick up some of the Edge and Sky Paris on discount, and so I thought I'd give you a little bit of a review. Now, is it totally guaranteed that you're going to find these on discount? No. The Metaspeed Sky Plus and Edge Plus didn't. I never saw them on sale when this came out, so maybe it'll happen this time around. I don't really know. ASICS doesn't seem to discount their shoes. Like the old Super Blast wasn't discounted either. But on the off chance you come across these on a discount, these are some of my favorite shoes over the course of the last basically 2 years since I started running again. Quick stats, 40 down to 34, or 35 rather. It's a 5 mil drop. Engineered mesh upper. It's a really lightweight and sort of somewhat formless upper. It doesn't hold its shape super well, but it's really, really light, breathable mesh. Some of the best laces that I've encountered on any shoe. Serrated. The tongue is certainly a tongue. It's like just a piece of felt, really, or whatever that type of fabric is. And what else? Midsole, FF Turbo Plus, as you can see right there. And there's a plate that comes down in a scooping geometry. So it starts really high up in the heel, scoops all the way down to the plate. You're really getting close to the ground, and then your foot is on a stack of foam that's really high. So that's enough about, the specs. Oh, there's an outsole. You wouldn't have guessed that one. And for what it's worth, it's a good outsole. So starting with the upper, sort of how I feel about it. Fits great. I think it's an excellent lockdown. I didn't have any issues with this at all, even single knotting it. It's kind of a marvel that the tongue being as thin and as felt-like as it is didn't have any lace bite. I will say that I do get red spots where the laces tie if I'm really doing a workout in these, which I'll get to. But it didn't hurt. It's just that my skin was red when I got back from the run. I don't know. Didn't feel it, so I don't really know what to say there. Maybe some of you have had that happen before to yourselves. But yeah, really great lockdown, especially through the mid and forefoot. But I didn't have any heel slip either, so it's really just a great lockdown all around. Comfort, it's not, I wouldn't say a comfortable shoe. It's not uncomfortable for me. So I ran my marathon PR in this. Not super thrilled with my marathon PR, but still was a good race. The shoes didn't give me any issues at all the entire time. Although I did just speak to somebody who did have an issue with this. And I guess before we move on to the midsole, this is something that I do have to bring up with both this and the Sky Paris. So about a year ago, when I first was getting back into running, a little longer than a year ago, I was looking at race shoes. At the time, I ended up going with Adios Pro 3, also a fantastic shoe. But I actually bought this and had to return it. I bought the Sky Paris, though, not the Edge Paris, because that's what they had in the store. This is what they had in the store that I went to purchase a new race shoe for this training block. And so I have had an opportunity to try both of them. On the Sky, I had on my left foot on the toe around the pinky toe area here. There's you could sort of see it, but it's like an overlay, and you could even see there's some discoloration there. I'm not sure what's causing that discoloration on this pair, but that is where my toe on the Sky Paris rubbed raw. So it's like beyond blistering, just like literally a bloody toe. So I had to return the Sky Paris. This was after like two to 3 miles of running on a treadmill. So it was very much immediate. Brought it back to the store. They were really, this was out in Denver. They were very kind about it. But I had written off this shoe as something that I couldn't use because it just did that to me way back when. But, you know, fast forward a year and a half, I go back to the store. I'm trying on like a bunch of race shoes. I tried on the Endorphin Pro 2. I tried on, you know, like the Endorphin Elite. Sorry, not the Endorphin Pro 2. Endorphin Elite 2, Endorphin Pro 4. I tried on, what else did I try on at the same time? Well, then I tried on this. And Adios Pro 4 were the ones that I tried on in that session, and I ended up going with this. And the reason was I was wearing different socks when I tried this on than I normally do. I was wearing actual like regular People socks. They're Saucony brand with the running like cushion tab on the back. My everyday socks are in Gingies. They don't have a really strong or thick padded, you know, heel, whatever cushion thing that running socks do typically have. So I just so happened to be wearing those socks. I think I must have had this in mind when I picked out my socks for that day. So I put these on, and, you know, whatever, I don't know what it is. It wasn't because there's the heel cushioning. There must have been something about the socks that I was wearing when I ran in the Metaspeed Sky Paris that pushed my toes out to the side or something that caused the irritation on the pinky toe and the bleeding on the pinky toe, because that's what I ran all of my runs in at the time. And then whatever, it didn't happen in this, so I bought it. And I couldn't have been happier with the results. So, midsole, how does it feel? It's like that. It's like that booming, really effortless, assistive bounce, but it's almost more echoey. It's like a hollow sort of, just like punching you along. It's like if you punched a hollow door, and the sound that it makes is what it feels like under your foot to run in. It's like somehow empty, contained within itself, but it's also very firm. It's not like a compressive feeling. It's like you're bouncing off of a hollow door on each step, and it feels really great. It's not like this, so I could compared to the Adios Pro 3. The Adios Pro 3 feels like you're running along on a rubber bouncy ball. The Hoka Cielo X1 feels like you're compressing a really squishy material that's then bringing you up like a rabbit or something. And this feels like you're jumping on top of hollow doors that are really springy doors. I don't really know how to explain it. And it's also extremely rigid. Like you don't want to even try to bend this. It's not gonna, it would be bad for the shoe, but also it's just like not gonna bend. It's a rigid shoe. But all of that contributes to sort of just this effortless propulsion that really works with my stride. It works with and at my race pace, I'm around 180 steps per minute. So it promotes, for me, it's very promotive of that cadence, even when doing slower running, which I have not done much slower running in this because I'm savoring it. I'm withholding its use for special occasions. So why am I reviewing it now? Well, I'm reviewing it now because the new ones are coming out. They have some new aliphatic TPU in them. This is a PIBA compound, as far as I know. I mean, it's, ASICS doesn't really broadcast their formulation of foams, but Flight Foam Turbo Plus is a PIBA. So it's, it's bouncy. It's starting to get some of the PIBA. It's really, maybe that's too bright. Let me see. Yeah, it's starting to get some of those classic PIBA lines on it. And, this is nearly 100 miles into it. And I don't think that I've really noticed any performance decline. It's like a gap of maybe, what was it, mid-April until yesterday. So it's pretty much 2 months since the last time I ran in this, until on Sunday, which was yesterday. I just wanted to go fast and I wanted to do a workout, and I hadn't really tried. I've been trying to imagine and start implementing some workouts into my training schedule, because I've been increasing my mileage steadily. And, it just gets sort of boring to run 1 mile. It sort of gets boring to run all of your miles at the same pace all the time. And I've been reading some training books that I'll probably have more to speak on when I get through them and have digested more of the content and wisdom that resides within those books. But suffice it to say, I'm inspired to start doing some more diverse and varied running. And so for the first proper workout that I've done in a long time, other than like threshold runs, which are just faster running, right? I took this out to the track. So 2 mile warm up, got to the track, did a lap or so. So like 2 mile warm up. And then it was a kilometer on and a kilometer off. The kilometer on pace is slightly faster than my half marathon. So I set it as a range from 7:10 down to 7:10 down to 6:50, or 7:15 down to 6:50, maybe. I can't remember the exact range, but I was hitting consistently. So that's the workout. So it's like around 6:50 to 7-minute pace is what I was actually ending up hitting. And then off was 8 something to 9 something. So it was like around 8:30, I think I was averaging for the rest repetitions, or the rest interval. And so I did 6 reps of that. Initially, I had planned the workout to be a longer one, but I had to run with my buddy later in the day, so I didn't want to get too many miles, which I couldn't have gotten more miles that day. It was cooked. But so it was just so reliable. The shoe was so reliable. If I was going to do this workout, this was the only shoe that I was going to do it in, because it was too long to grab the streak fly. Like, say this was a shorter workout and maybe it was like 400-meter repeats and I was doing 10 of them with a 400 off, or a full rest off, or whatever. I would have reached for the streak fly instantly. It's just so fast. But given that these were kilometer reps, I knew I needed something a little more supportive. Also, I was running there and running back. And I had like a 3 mile cool down. There's no way I was going to get away with that in the streak fly. It would have been painful the next day. It would have been fun though. I mean, that's a fun shoe. But those were really the two options. The Cielo X1 up there is getting on in its life. It's almost at 200 miles. The midsole is substantially softer than it used to be. And this is still very lively. And I mean, it's just the best shoe that I own, hands down. And that should tell you a lot about how I felt during the workout, how I feel about this shoe. I think it's crazy that I don't get lace bite in it, even though I have the like red lines on the top of my foot. I don't know how it doesn't hurt, because I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm like particularly prone to lace bite, but it has happened in a few shoes. It even occasionally happens in the Cielo X1, which I haven't heard too many people complain about. So it's amazing to me that doesn't happen. It's also pretty wild that they could have this much padding around the tongue, and the weight is like 190 grams, which is just that's in my size 9.5. I don't understand how they did that. As for the like marketing material on whether this is a cadence runner or a stride runner shoe, that's all just nonsense. Don't really care about any of that. I typically land further forward in the forefoot. When I'm going faster, I land further back towards the heel when I'm going slower. So it's all just nonsense. What I have had happen in the past for me is plate feel. Like, that's actually occurring right now on the Cielo X1. I like on the ball of my foot, the very like center ball of my foot, will get plate feel on that. And I've had that in the Tier Valkyrie Speedwork. It's a plastic plate, so it's less noticeable, but I do feel it in that too. So, whatever. It's my foot, how I'm striking it. I typically get plate feel, so that's why with this has the scooped lower plate position, and I haven't had plate feel in this, and I don't know. I was concerned that if I had tried to get the Sky Paris after back when I had the problems with my pinky toe with it, maybe there was a slight difference between the way the upper was constructed on either of them. And B, I was like, okay, I've had plate feel a bunch of times. I'm going to just since I have the option and it's at the store already, I'm just going to go buy the shoe and test a bunch of other ones. But ultimately I was like, yeah, this is the one. And yeah, as far as the pinky toe rubbing situation, I did talk to somebody. I think I started the story and never finished it. But in his marathon, he was explaining to me recently that within mile 1 of his marathon, his pinky toe, right where this plastic, it's not an underlay, it's not an overlay, it's like an underlay, but there's a plastic piece that runs through here on the lateral side. And so it caused pain for him. So hopefully the next generation of these, the Edge and Sky Tokyo, will fix that issue. That's the only red flag about this shoe, and it's not happened to me in this one particularly, but of this generation, it's a known thing that happens to people. So just be mindful of that. Sizing wise, also, people have said it's short, people have said it's true to size. I have a theory that the early shipment of these was small. Because when I tried the Sky on out in Denver, I had to size a full size up to even get it to fit at all. And this is true to size. And I've heard very little discussion about this being incorrectly sized other than when I was out in Denver. And so the lady at the shop had said that they'd gotten, everybody was picking a half size up for the Sky. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. And that was even too small. And so whatever, maybe it was just a batch that the person out in Denver got. I have no idea. I don't know how these production lines work. If anybody has any information on that and wants to inform me, that would be super interesting to learn. And I will do my own research on that as well. But as far as the shoe is concerned, I mean, it's, there are shoes that give you more bounce in the way they bounce. You could go with the Prime X Strong. That's bouncier. The Hoka CLX one is bouncier, but it's certainly not. Neither of those are faster. They're really heavy. There are shoes that you might have even a more immediate snap, like the Streak Fly or the Streak Fly 2 or the Takumi Sen. Really snappy shoes, right? Very speedy, but they're not going to provide you as much comfort. There are shoes that, might have a more explosive, energetic experience to them, like the Endorphin the Endorphin Elite 2 with the Incredible Run foam. That's a wild experience. It feels like an unbelievable thing to run in, but it's not going to give you as much stability as this. And I don't know of this previous year of race shoes, the previous generation of race shoes. I've never worn an Alpha Fly. Sue me, I don't care. I will never wear an Alpha Fly either. Maybe if you guys all really request it someday. But right now I'm hollering into the void and I'm not going to wear an Alpha Fly. But yeah, this compared to at least the Adios Pro 3 compared to the Endorphin Elite 2, because I never put the Endorphin Elite 1 on, compared to any of its contemporaries. I don't know of anything that comes close to this. Certainly not the Hoka CLX one. There's just this is such a premium product, and I say it's only $250, but that's now your low priced super shoe, which is, I have my own thoughts about that, but that's the reality we live in these days. This is a cheaper super shoe, and it's still one of the best for everything that I've put on my feet. I haven't logged miles in all of these. This is better than the Adios Pro 3 just because of the absolute train wreck of an upper the Adios Pro 3 was and is. That is also one of my favorite shoes. So this coming in and taking its spot is high praise. I don't really have... The grip is great. The grip is also really great. I think this is probably not going to be very durable, but I'm almost at 100 miles on it, and it really hasn't showed a sign of slowing down yet. And so it's, even that, right? You would think that there would be some negative somewhere. I think that, when I'm really excited about something, I'm really excited about it, and it's easy to overlook the negatives. Like, I'm sure some people might not find the back platform, like the heel, to be the most stable in the world. For me, stability hasn't been a problem in this. So, I know that people have talked about that, but it's just not, that is not an issue for me personally with this shoe. There's pretty much nothing I could say against it. Like, even the one problem that I had with it early on with the toe and the Sky Paris. Okay, you know what? Here's the negative. And it's actually really more of a quirk, but it is hard for content creators to say Sky Paris, Edge Paris, Sky Tokyo, Edge Tokyo, Metaspeed Edge Plus, Metaspeed Sky Plus. And then there's another one before all of this, which was also called the Tokyo. Maybe it was just the Metaspeed Tokyo. You see what I mean? They're like, come on, ASICS, it's pretty goofy. You could just call this the Racing Blast. Okay, so if the shoe were a person, who would it be? Honestly, I think this shoe is like that best friend that you have, that you admire, and you treat like your dad. Like, it's like your dad, but your best friend. So it's like a training friend who's a leader in the space that's training you. So picture somebody, maybe it's your friend from high school that was always getting more girls than you or guys than you. Or maybe it was your friend that got really famous on YouTube. Or maybe it was your friend that created a company that's really successful or whatever. Or it's your teammate on cross country that was always like a minute ahead of you. Or 30 seconds ahead of you. You're trying to catch him, but you're like, damn, that guy's good. Yeah, that's this shoe. It's really patient. It's reliable. It's, in your eyes, has very few flaws, right? Somebody you look up to. So this is a shoe that I look up to and that I think all running shoes should look up to. And they really knocked it out of the park with this. And I'm going to continue to run in it, not much, because I love it and I don't want it to die. But someday I will kill it by running it into the ground, just very gradually, because it's a really good shoe. Thank you. I appreciate your attention. Have a great night.